Hey everyone! Today I'm going to be doing my Q&A video. Obviously you clicked on it. Before I start my Q&A video, I would just like to say thank you so much for 1K subscribers. Oh my gosh, I talked about this in my last sit down talk video about how I was almost at 1K. Now I have like almost 1K.1. Yeah, that's just crazy. I just am so thankful for all the support you guys give me on my videos and my photography. Even if I don't always get to react with you guys, don't even get to reply to your comments or anything like that, don't worry, I see them and I appreciate your support so much. When I started this YouTube channel, when I started photography even, I didn't expect people to actually even support my work or be encouraging me to continue to make more work. So I'm just really thankful and blessed to have people like that in my life who are constantly sending me love and support. So I thank you, and this is my thank you. I'm doing a Q&A video. I asked people on Instagram and one Twitter follower and one YouTube comment anyway to ask me questions about photography. So yeah, we're gonna get into that. This is my first Q&A video, so sorry if it's like really awkward and weird, but I'll try my best to not freak you out. All right, oh god, and a spinning chair almost fell. Okay, right when I said I'm not gonna be weird, I did something weird. Sorry about that. All right, on to the questions. So the first question comes from Instagram. Most of these are gonna come from Instagram. I'm not gonna attempt to pronounce your Instagram handle just because I'm really bad at names in general and I know I'm gonna mispronounce it. So I'll just insert a screenshot of your question here because I don't want to butcher anybody's name. People mispronounce my name all the time. I don't want to do that to y'all, so I'm gonna just put it right here. Okay, first question: what was the first camera that you used when you first started to take photography seriously? BTW, I live for your photos. Oh, thank you. Okay, so I had multiple cameras. One of the first cameras I had was a point and shoot Canon camera. It's like probably this big. And then the next camera I had was another point and shoot, but it was an Olympus camera. It was more a point and shoot that looks kind of like a DSLR. And then the camera that I used that really helped me get into photography or take photography seriously was an Olympus E500 camera. I still have that camera at home. I don't use it, kind of tempted to use it. It came with the kit lens, which is some zoom lens, probably like 18 to like probably like, I don't know, 50 or something. And then it came with a 70 to 200, and that was before I even knew like cameras or anything. I had no idea what I was doing. I kind of just went out and shot. I didn't understand why the camera was so close to everything, why the lenses were like this, and I had no idea what I was doing, but I used it and luckily it ended up being actually pretty good gear. The 70 to 200 was really good glass, so I was thankful for that, and I was able to use that for a lot of my first photos. And you will see some. I'll insert some here. But actually, when I first started taking photography more seriously, that was before I even had my own camera. I used my friend's camera. I would just hang out with them and be like, hey, you want to bring your camera along? And so they would just bring their cameras, and I would just shoot photos of them with their cameras until I had got my own camera. Next question: what are your suggestions on photographing yourself for those moments when you don't have a I can't even speak or read. Like, oh my god, I'm not in college or anything, it's fine. For those moments when you don't have a photography handy to make it look like a pro did it. Okay, so first thing I would say would get a tripod. Obviously you can get an iPhone tripod, which I have actually. Noise. Okay, you can get an iPhone tripod like this. This is from Target. It's probably like maybe like $10, I don't know. It's like really cheap. It falls down a lot. You can get an iPhone tripod, and for your iPhone photos, especially if you have like a 6 or 7, I mean, any iPhones and cell phones cameras are really high quality. So you can get a tripod like this and just kind of set it up and prop it up, put your phone on it, you can tilt it and stuff like that, and you can use it that way. DSLR wise, you can also use a tripod. I would suggest timers. If you have like a wireless remote, would be helpful, just so that you can like get in your position and press it, and you don't have to run in this place or whatever. But I also have a video on how to take self-portrait. I can't even self-promo myself. I can't speak. Oh my god. I have a video on how to take self-portraits. I will link it somewhere here, either here or somewhere in the description or whatever, on how to take self-portraits. That shows you basically my process for taking self-portraits, how to take photos of yourself when no one's around. But also, honestly, I do this a lot. I just like set up my phone anywhere, like against the wall, on some books, against a car, and take the photo. So yeah, just basically use what you have, and to make it look like a pro did it, I would say it's all in the editing, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna expand on that. Take that as you like. Next question, what are your settings for shooting in low light? So I don't shoot in low light that often. I would suggest just like Googling good settings for low light. I always leave my white balance on auto. I think that's a good indicator for low light. Make sure you're shooting in RAW. That's actually probably the first thing. Your settings should always be in RAW, especially in low light, because you can go back and fix it. And yeah, I don't really shoot in low light that much, so I can't really give you much advice, but I would suggest Googling that. How have you ever felt like giving up on photography every day? No, I'm just kidding. I have to sneeze. Excuse me. I do, honestly. I get kind of frustrated, I'm not gonna lie, especially when, I don't know, I feel like photography is such a mass-produced thing nowadays, especially with iPhones and smaller compact cameras being at such a high quality. Everyone's a photographer, everyone's taking photos, so it's kind of like I kind of think like, do I want to continue to contribute to an oversaturated market, or do I want to just like find something else to do? Other times I feel like for quitting photography just because, I don't know, it's always like that artist saying you create something really good and it doesn't get that much attention. Not that attention is important, but it's good to know that other people see your work as good. I don't know, it's like more of an insecure thing, but most of the time I just get over that, because I'm just like, at this point I kind of just like doing photography for me. When I take photos, even if it's for a client, I want to ensure that I'm happy with what I create and what I'm putting out there. And so I just kind of just keep thinking that like, this is for me, this is kind of like my own personal thing that I like to do. And yeah, other than that, I feel like every photographer kind of feels like sometimes giving up, just because things get in the way, business-wise, photography-wise. Things just happen and you kind of always get discouraged, but that's with anything, and you just gotta keep pushing up and not let those little voices in your head get in your way. How do I say inspired? Those 3 questions were all by the same person. Thank you for sending me 3 questions. How do I stay inspired? I honestly get inspired a lot by the outside world, things outside of social media, surprisingly. I often get inspired by like the way trees move in the wind, the way the sun shines at a certain time of day in a certain kind of conditions, the color of the sky, the way the clouds look. That sounds really, really cliche, but honestly I find a lot of my inspiration in nature, and I don't really know why that is. I've always been intrigued by the natural beauty that is out there, and that's kind of what made me want to start photography. I just take pictures of flowers and nature and stuff, and I always thought it was beautiful, so I continue to use those things to inspire me. Pinterest, things like that. Some symmetry are things that really inspires me. Symmetry and color schemes, those are things that I like to look at. How did you get into photography? I kind of already answered that, but I'll answer it again. I used to just like taking pictures of flowers and stuff. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm gonna expose myself today. I used to have a Tumblr like everyone did in middle school. I was like moderately Tumblr famous, okay? And you know, when like Tumblr people create their own content, that's usually kind of technically how I got into photography. I used to take photos and post it, and I used to get a lot of notes and stuff, so I would take more photos and get more notes and etc, etc. But then when I started taking it seriously, I started taking photos of people, and yeah, I mean, I feel like every photographer has like this really deep story of how they got into photography, but honestly I feel like it was just kind of the generation of when social media started kind of inspired me to get more in photography, because I was able to access more photos, I was able to see more photos, and was like, hey, that's cool, I want to do that too. Not that exciting, I'm sorry. Next question. If there was one person you wish you could photograph, dead or alive, who would it be? I would love to photograph the Obamas. My soul, my heart, and my soul. I think that would be cool to be able to photograph them, just because, I mean, they're them. Dead or alive? I'm trying to think of like someone dead I would like to photograph. I don't know. Who would you like to collaborate in the future? how do you this is a two-part question. Okay, I'm going to answer the first one. Who would you like to collaborate in the future? Who would I like to collaborate with? Jessica Kobasi would be amazing to collaborate with, but that's never gonna happen. I don't really want to collaborate with anyone specifically, like photographer wise. I would just more like to shadow them and to learn their technique, or help them teach me like how to improve my work, or what techniques they use to with their work. I would love to shadow Jessica Kobasi, obviously. Probably this photographer, I think her name is Anastasia, something like that. She does a lot with color schemes and composition, and I think it's always really intriguing and so beautiful and like feminine, and I would really love the way her photos come out. Like every time I look at them, I'm like, wow, I feel something looking at this. I would love to shadow her. Ben Sasso, something like that. I would love to shadow him. I think his photos are really cool. He pushes the boundaries a lot of what is considered portrait and lifestyle photography, and I really like that. Yeah, that's all I can think of off the top of my head. I wouldn't really want to collaborate with them. I would just more like to learn from them and have them like teach me some stuff. That would be cool. How to find a model and how to take a photo shoot. Okay, how to find models and how to have photo shoots with. I would say if you're just starting out, use your friends, use people you already know, use people you already have connections with, because they're more likely to say yes. Other than that, social media, Instagram, I get like almost 99.9% of my models from Instagram. Instagram is a great place. Usually like search hashtags, like for example, I live in North Carolina, so I want to look for a model, I would search up hashtag NC model or hashtag NC blogger or something like that, someone that's already in my area, and I can kind of just check them out and see if their look fits the look I'm looking for and stuff like that. But I definitely would say use social media to your advantage. Where do you see your photography in 10 years business wise? I don't know. I don't look very far into the future. I like to focus on like the furthest my brain can think of is maybe a month from now, maybe not even, like maybe 3 weeks from now. My brain can like conceive something that's gonna happen, but 10 years from now, I have no idea what in the world my photography is gonna be like, what my business is gonna be like, what my life is gonna be like. Where would I like to see it? I don't know. I feel like I would like to see myself in a place of happiness and a place of stability in my photography. Hopefully in 10 years I could be able to live solely off my photography. That would be really cool. Okay, another question. What is your process for location scouting? Okay, so my number one rule is for me is I will never ever do a photo shoot if I do not scout the location before. I did one shoot in my like photography career where I did not scout a location first, and my mind was like all over the place. I was freaking out because location scouting is very important. The way I location scout is I go to the location that I have in mind at different times of day, multiple different days of the week, especially since it's a public place. You need to see what times it's going to be busy, but you also need to see, very importantly, how the light falls. As a natural light photographer, I use just the sunlight and whatever natural elements are out there. So I need to make sure that the lighting at the time of day is going to fit the shoot style that I want. So I have to scout out different times to see which one gives me the best lighting for my situation. Obviously to see when people are going to be there and see how much like noise and distractions are going to be around there. Also, I scout locations usually based off of the mood of my photo shoot. I make mood boards for every single shoot. That's another thing like I always have to do. And once my mood board is created, I just try to find a photo shoot location that matches that mood. Last question. How did you know you wanted to be a fashion/lifestyle photographer? I knew I wanted to be a lifestyle photographer first of all, because when I first started photography, I started taking photos of my friends, and I always was attracted to like candid photos of people laughing, photos of people just doing things that make them happy. And I personally love taking lifestyle photos because I love to make people happy. I love to see people's reactions and happiness, especially when they see their photos. They're like, oh my god, I can't believe I look like that. Like, that is just something that's so rewarding to me, because taking photos of models is fun, but taking photos of like everyday people being happy and doing what they love and just letting their personality and essence shine, through a photo is really something that really makes me happy, and I kind of figured that out really early in my photography career. Before I found out I wanted to do fashion photography, I realized that I liked seeing photos of my friends happy. I liked seeing photos of them having a good time. I liked creating experiences for them to be happy, and then an experience for me to be able to capture their happiness. And that was probably like when I first started photography. I figured that out. Fashion wise, I've always liked fashion. I've always liked dressing up and looking at magazines and finding out the latest fashion trends. I love shopping, so like everything points to fashion. And probably senior year of high school, I decided that I really wanted to take fashion more seriously and do a lot more with fashion. And fashion has always been a creative outlet for me, so I thought, why not mix two creative outlets, fashion and photography? Anyway, yeah, I think that's it. I hope I answered your questions to suffice. I didn't look at any of the questions before I answered them, so I didn't really think my responses through very well. Hopefully that's not bad. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. I hope your question was answered. If you guys want me to do another Q&A video or another video in general, leave them in the comments below. Leave me suggestions, leave me your questions, and I can make more videos for you guys. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you again for 1K subscribers. And yeah, I'll see you later. Bye.